Hello, Kaylin.
Hi, Brett.
So today I have you here. I'm going to ask you a few questions about what you do and how you got to this position.
Okay.
So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yes, so I work at Tesla Motors. I work in body controls firmware doing validation for the Model X.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
the new SUV.
The new SUV. Yeah, I saw the
Exactly,
release recently.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So, what does your job consist of then? If you could get a little more specific with that.
Yeah, so I work with some of the different developers. They actually write the code that controls the body controls for the car,
Okay.
and body controls for a vehicle. It's better. It's easier to describe what it isn't because it encompasses so much. You have like the drivetrain, then you have infotainment, which is your screens and kind of the dash in front of you.
Okay.
And then everything else is body controls. So windows, doors, mirrors, lights, seats. The list goes on and
Sure.
on. Your trunk, did I say doors already?
You did say doors.
Okay. The list goes on.
Okay.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
But so I work with the people who write the firmware for body controls, and I validate their firmware, make sure everything works. I'm also working on our test infrastructure, the automation portion of it. So
Okay.
updating our testers and making sure that every test runs in an automated fashion.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So, what did you do to get into this position? Like, which high school classes and college classes did you go to? What did you major in? Any sort of that information?
Yeah, so I actually went to Bayport,
Okay.
and I took basically the core classes all 4 years. I took a couple computer science classes, some technology classes, as well as many other classes, but those are probably the ones that are the most relevant to what I ended up doing.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going to UW-Madison for undergrad. I got degrees in computer engineering and computer science from there, and basically just took some of the core classes for that. So computer engineering consisted of about half electrical engineering classes and half low-level computer science classes. And
Okay.
then the computer science degree was, I took a lot of higher-level computer science classes. And then I ended up going and working for GE. I was in their Edison Engineering Development Program at GE Aviation Systems. And while I was doing that, I was also, or as part of that program, I got my master's in computer science from Michigan State. After I completed my master's, I applied to Tesla and got a job out here. And I've been working at Tesla for about a year now.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. The Tesla just unveiled the Autopilot feature, and it's been in cars for a while now. A little while. How long?
A couple weeks.
A few weeks. As the day of the
As
video.
of this interview.
Yeah. But do you think that can advance to the point where cars will truly be able to drive themselves?
I mean, based on the interviews that Elon's conducted and the conversations that, or I guess his Twitter comments and everything, that's where he wants it to be. And so I think, if Elon sets his mind to something, we tend to get there.
Oh, absolutely,
so, yeah. So I think that that's definitely where we see it going, but.
So now that the Model X has been released, do you continue to work on that car, certain parts of it, or are you working on the next project?
Yeah, so for me, I am still working on the Model X.
Okay.
So just like the Model S, the Model X comes equipped with a LTE connection, and what that allows us to do is to continuously send updates to and improve the vehicle. So when we get feature requests or come up with some cool new features, we will put software into the car or I guess write the software for it and then put it into the car. So just like S just got Autopilot as of a couple weeks ago, as of this interview, then X is going to also be continuously improving. So I'm still working on the body controls validation for the Model X, and we're just adding new features, adding more features,
Awesome.
and continuing to do releases and make everyone or make the cars better.
Yeah, so they just only keep on improving.
Keep getting better.
So this is a bit of a novelty question. Certain Teslas now have ludicrous mode, which brings it 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds.
That is correct.
Okay. Have you been in a Tesla in ludicrous mode, and how does it feel?
I have, and it's ludicrous. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I don't know. It's akin to being on a roller coaster. I guess that's the closest that I've, or the
Yeah. So
closest
it's like
feeling. That
every time your foot, it's like pedal, you can feel like you're on a roller coaster, which is a lot probably.
It can be.
Yeah. So one final question then: do you think electric cars are the future of the automotive industry? If so, why?
Yeah, I think they are. Tesla's mission is to ease the transition of the world to electric vehicles, and so we're actually excited that other car companies are now making electric vehicles or have announced plans to make electric vehicles. Um, the thing about Teslas is they've shown that you can get a luxury sedan that is really fast and all electric with a great range. The supercharger network, which allows people to take long distance road trips pretty easily, charge up your vehicle to 80% in 30 minutes, which
It's awfully fast, yeah.
very fast, yes. So yeah, that is where I think the future of vehicles is going, is electric.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for doing this interview. It's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you for having me.
I think I'm a lot more enlightened about Tesla and electric cars as a whole, mostly Tesla.